Hi guys, welcome back to Mill My Wood. Today I'm going to be making two shelving units, commissioned from some friends. Nice, quick, easy project. There's going to be drill holes in each corner of the shelf to accept some rope, which will become more obvious as the video goes on, in order to get each hole in the right place and to be able to repeat the shelves when I'm making them for other people. I'm going to make a very simple corner jig so the hole repeats very easily. Let's get on with it. I'd love it if you would subscribe if you like the video, and press like, hit the bell, all those good things. Very small channel, and it'd be great if you'd join me. Invite your friends, get more people to come on board, and let's make some fantastic things. Let's get started. Can't wait. I'm going to make the shelves out of some pine 4x1 planed. In order to make the jig, I'm using some hardwood. Just happen to have a piece of oak left over. Need to sit it into the corner. This is already cut at right angles. I just need to now make the jig so I can push it against the sides of the shelf. So I'm just going to cut some sections off this oak to glue onto the corner. So now we have the original piece, which has a right angle here. The rest aren't really straight cuts. And then we got the two edging pieces, and all that I'll do is glue them together so that they sit into the corner. Let's get that done. Before gluing though, I'm going to drill the required hole at the set distances from the corner. And then glue the sides on. Be much easier that way. So I've made the decision to put the hole 2 centimeters in from the corner. Just measure that. It doesn't have to be hugely accurate for this. 2 centimeters down. Ready to drill. The rope I'm using for the shelves is 8mm. I'm going to use a 9mm drill bit. Just put the hole right the way through. Now I can glue the sides on. And in order to speed it up, this isn't necessary. I'm just going to put a brad nail in. Now this one is just going to overlap so it glues onto the end grain of the original one. And again, just a brad nail. Just using a damp rag, take the excess glue off. What we will be able to do, sit the jig in the corner and just drill the holes, and that'll be able to be repeated everywhere. Let's cut the 4x1 to size for the shelves now. I'll just trim the ends off to make sure they're straight. I'm making 2 lots of shelves, 2 centre ones, 2 tops, 2 bottoms. So we got the items cut now, and the shelves are going to be arranged in this order. So it's 2 sets. As they've come off the miter saw, the edges are rough. I've got an old blade on there, it's quite a rough cut blade. However, for these shelving units, they're meant to have a rustic look, and what's eventually going to happen is the edges are all going to be sanded rounded, so that'll take away all this splintering. I'm going to drill the corner holes now for the rope and the shelves. I'm going to attempt to drill 3 shelves at the same time. I've put the shelves together, align the edge, put a scrap piece of wood on the bottom. I'm going to clamp this now to try and prevent breakout. Need to remember to leave room for the jig. Turn the wood over. I've got it raised on some 3x3 there. Able to put the jig on the corner now. The hole is 2 centimeters in by 2 centimeters in, so the jig could be in any direction and the hole will be correct. Just quickly clamp the jig in place. And then we should be able to drill straight through. Just put the jig on the other side, again clamp it in position. Make sure we're set up against the sides. Clamp off 2 perfectly positioned holes. Okay, now for the other side we need to move the shelves across. I'm going to move the shelves across and the scrap wood. Make sure they're aligned. Okay. Clamp the wood. Put on the jig. Clamp the jig. Ready to drill. Now we need to do some sanding. I've got my sanding mat down, kind of an anti-slip mat. I've got the wood set up. I'm using an orbital sander. I'm starting with 120 grit. I'll go down to 240 grit. Got my hearing protection and got a mask as well. Always a good time, West Brandon. What I also like to add to my pieces is 100% handmade. So for these I'm going to use a polyurethane varnish, spray varnish. Of all the parts of the build, this is the one that I find the most frustrating, putting the rope on. So the rope is taped at the end, stop it unfolding, and then I've calculated need two lengths of 330 centimeters. You may find an easier way. What I've done is measure it, put a little dot on with a Sharpie marker, get some packing tape, put the packing tape on with the dot in the centre of the tape, so the tape goes either side of the dot. I don't know if you can see that. Wrap that round. Get a utility knife and cut the section off. And measure the second piece. I've now got both pieces of rope, and having already made one, I've laid out some measurements that I require. So for the first knot, it's 40 centimeters from the end of the rope. And you're not going to get this completely accurate. There's going to have to be some adjustments when the shelf is hung, but we try and get it as accurate as possible. There you go, 40 centimeters. Now taking the bottom piece with the branding on, feed it through the first hole up until the knot. I've then got a second measurement, so between the first knot and the second knot needs to be 25 centimeters, or 25 centimeters the way I'm making it. And again, there's enough rope for the customer to adjust this if they want to. Pretty good. So we now want the longer section for the centre. Make sure you've got the best side facing upwards. And make sure you're feeding it through the correct hole. So in this one we need to be feeding it through the bottom hole. Pull the rope through until the knot touches the shelf. And again, measure it so that the first knot to the second knot is 25 centimeters again. centimeters. Take the second short piece. Again, make sure you've got the best side to the top and that you feed in through the correct hole. So now the way that I've done it is I leave a loop at the top. But instead of measuring the next knot down from here, I'm going to measure it from the end of the rope. In order to do that, I need to feed it all the way through the shelves first. With a generous amount at the top, I'm going to put a knot in which isn't measured, which will enable us to adjust it later through the second shelf, through the correct hole. Put a knot on pretty much anywhere really. And then through the base one, again through the correct hole. And then as with the first side, I'm going to use the 40 centimeter measure from the cut end of the rope. Go. Pull that to the shelf. And then we've already got a knot in, but it wasn't measured and it's past the mark, so we need to adjust that knot down to the mark. And then again we've got a knot in that wasn't measured. Oh, just so happens to be pretty much bob on with a little adjustment. That's the first rope done. I'm going to repeat it on the opposite side. Okay, so I've knotted both sides. Pretty level. And then again the customer can adjust this how they want to. Take the top, both sets of that rope, twist it and pull them through into a knot. Likewise on the bottom, and get all the ends of the rope together. Twist them round. A knot. Really enjoyed making these shelving units this time. This is the second time that I've made these types of units. I made one for my daughter. The improvement that did make was the jig for drilling the holes, which made life a lot easier. In the video I just used the one hole. I've now extended it to 2 holes. No real measuring now, just put the jig on and drill. While I've made these ones, I've measured the rope where the knots need to be in the length of the rope, which I didn't do the first time that I made them. And now I can make a note of that, and every time I want to repeat building these shelves, I can duplicate the measurements that I have, again making it much easier rather than designing it. Effectively, I've created a plan. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope you like the shelves. I'll get some finishing shots of them try and add them to the video later. Again, please subscribe and like, hit the bell button, and I'll see you soon on Mill More Wood.